Today we're going to solve equations that have exponents higher than 2. So if we've got like x to the third, x to the fourth, x to the fifth, and now that we know something about nth roots, we're able to do that. Our steps are going to be very similar to how we've solved many other equations. That's why I gave you this on an at-home day, because it's really not a whole lot of new stuff. If you hear anything crazy in the background, my dog is in like a crazy nutso mood right now, so I apologize in advance. Okay, so number 18, 5y to the fourth equals 80. We need to isolate the powers. We need to get y to the fourth by itself. We would do that by dividing by 5. That would give us y to the fourth equals 16. To undo an exponent of y to the fourth, we would take a fourth root. So you want to use the radical with the index that matches the exponent. Now, just like when we solved square root equations, if your index is even, and I'm going to write this up here, even index, you need to put a plus minus symbol in front of your result. Apparently my dog wanted some water and now she's chewing on my foot, so that's cool. Oops, I don't need that. Okay, so y equals plus or minus the fourth root of 16. If we check our perfects chart, the fourth root of 16 is 2. So plus or minus 2. In Big Ideas, it would likely give you two fields like this, and you would type in that one of your answers is 2 and the other answer is negative 2. Seriously, Sally. Sometimes your answers are going to be on the perfects chart. Sometimes you're going to have to use a calculator and round your answer to 2 decimal places. Let's take a look at number 19. Our first step would be to get x cubed by itself. We would do that by subtracting 5. So x cubed equals 27. To undo cube, you would use a cube root. Your index should always match whatever exponent you're trying to undo. With an odd index, you don't have to put the plus minus in there. So you would just type this into your calculator or look at your perfects chart. The third root of 27 is 3, and that one would be done. So it may be helpful on your perfects chart, above the even columns, put a plus minus symbol to remind you that if you're taking the second root, the square root, the fourth root, or the sixth root, you need to put a plus minus in your equation. If you're doing a third root, a fifth root, or a seventh root, you don't need to do that. Number 20. The important thing here is we just got done with properties of exponents, so a lot of people are tempted to turn this into x to the fourth minus 7 to the fourth. You cannot do that. That is absolutely not allowed. If it was 7x to the fourth, then yes, we could do 7 to the fourth, x to the fourth, because it's all multiplication in there. If there's addition or subtraction inside the parentheses, you cannot put that exponent onto the terms inside the parentheses. Think of the exponent as a lock, and you can't do anything to the x minus 7 until that lock is gone. And now that we know about fourth roots, we can get rid of that lock. So we are going to do the fourth root of both sides to get rid of that exponent of 4. So x minus 7 equals positive or negative, because it's an even root. The fourth root of 10,000, you might even know this one off the top of your head, is 10. So we have plus or minus 10. Now remember that this plus minus 10 means positive 10 and negative 10. So when we finish solving this equation by adding 7 on both sides, we are really doing positive 10 plus 7. Oh, really? Positive 10 plus 7, which is 17. Our other answer is negative 10 plus 7, which is negative 3. Number 21 is a little bit oversimplified, so I made it a little bit more complicated just so that you'd be prepared if you saw a question like this. So if there's more than just the parentheses there, you would use the algebra skills that you're already very comfortable with. Always start with subtraction or addition. So we'd subtract 6 on both sides to get 2 times the quantity y minus 1 cubed equals 64. Then you would divide both sides by 2. So we have y minus 1 cubed equals 32. Once you have the parentheses by themselves, you would cube root both sides. So the exponent is 3. You want to take the third root of both sides. Do we need a plus minus when we take a third root? Nope, we do not. Hello, dog. So we have y minus 1 equals, check our chart, the third root of 32 is not on the chart. So we need to talk about how to enter this into your calculator. If you are using a typical scientific calculator, you're looking for this button, your exponent button, or on some models, it's like a y to the x button. Whatever button you typically raise things to an exponent with, above that button is usually a symbol that looks like an xth root. So you usually have to type in what the index is first. So on your calculator, you would type in 3, and then the second button, and then that exponent button that has that xth root symbol above it, and then 32. On your screen, it should look like 3, and then this little x root symbol, and then 32. If you're using the calculator on your computer, the graphing calculator on your computer, it's in your math button. The math button is right here. I just highlighted it in red. It's the third button down right underneath the colorful second and alpha buttons. There is a third root. Option 4 is a third root, but I want you to practice using option 5, the xth root. So if I type in 5 to get that xth root, it gives me a place where I can put in whatever index I want, and then arrow over, and you can type in 32, 3.1748, whatever. 3.1748, whatever, it keeps going. The directions said round to 2 decimal places. The number after that determines if we shove that up to 0.18 or if we leave it at 0.17. 5 or above, give it a shove. 4 or less, don't mess. So we're going to leave this as 3.17. We would then add 1 to both sides to finish solving, and our answer is 4.17. Now, even if you aren't writing any of this down, even if you're just watching, I want you to grab whatever calculator you are intending on using and try to do the third root of 32 and see if you get that decimal 3.17480, and it kept on going. Make sure that you can get that. If you are having trouble getting the third root of 32 in your calculator, message me or email me and I will help you figure out how to do nth roots on your calculator. All right, your assignment is in Big Ideas Math. It is 5.1 Part 2. And you have unlimited answer checks. So you can click that check answer button as many times as you want. And I want you to utilize that check answer button. Solve the equation, type in your answers, check your answers. If you're wrong, go back and see if you can figure out what you did wrong and try to fix it. I want you to get 100% on this assignment because I want you to find and fix all of your mistakes. Now, if you're completely stumped and you don't know what you did wrong, let me know. I will help you find your mistakes. You can just snap a picture of your work and email it to me and say, what am I doing wrong here? And I will look through it and I'll email you back with some help. So make sure that you are using your mistakes to your advantage. Mistakes are important in math. They help you to learn and improve. All right. So get to work on your Big Ideas Math assignment, 5.1 Part 2, and let me know if you need any help.